What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So you saw the title right, you guys. I told you guys that I was going to start watching the prequels for Star Wars, and it has begun. So last night I watched the Star Wars Phantom Menace. Now, for those of you who are new here, those of you who don't know, I recently started watching the Star Wars movies because Tyrone has put me onto it. It's one of those, like, I don't know, all the Star Wars movies that's been out. I know they're really super long. There's a lot of them. There's a lot to follow. From what I understand, it's not really in order. Like, I think you have to watch a few and then kind of jump back and watch another few. Something like that, which I don't understand. But I'm fairly new to the whole Star Wars saga. So I watched a few that Tyrone had me watch, and I really enjoyed it. I really started enjoying it. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start watching the prequels. So I did. This movie was absolutely crazy. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. As tired as I was, you guys, because you guys know that I came back from out of town. Came back from out of town pretty late in the evening. So I wasn't too sure if I was going to be able to stay up for it, but I did. I was like right there falling asleep, but it kept me up. So I might be a little bit all over the place with this, but of course, a lot of you guys probably have watched this already, so it's not like I'm spoiling anything, but I'll just give you a few of my, likes or whatever. There's nothing really that I disliked about it. So when it first started, and forgive me, I don't remember the names of everyone in this movie, but so when Obi-Wan came out with the Master, I forgot his name, the first fight was, I guess you would call it a fight scene, where they were in the ship and they were trying to figure out, if this was some type of ambush or whatever. So them trying to get away and shooting all these little, I guess, mechanical things that kind of look like little ducks to me, but that was pretty cool. So one part that stood out to me, well, a couple of parts stood out, but from then on, they got together with Binks. So Binks to me was kind of cute. It was very interesting to hear him talk the way that he was talking. I couldn't really understand too much, but he was the one that was navigating them through everything. And he was basically like, I guess he came out by accident when they landed and in the place that they did. But anyway, he stood out to me, and I like how the Master was doing his thing to get what he wanted, or to get what he needed, as the movie went on, which was pretty cool. But Binks, I thought, was pretty cute. Now, at one point, I thought it was a little cartoony, like, and I'm sure it's the CGI, whatever. But I guess that's just kind of the Star Wars look, I guess, if you guys know what I mean. But I still enjoyed it. It didn't take me out of it or anything like that. So then we get to this other place. I forgot where they were. They come across this little boy, which I was surprised when he said who he was. He was Anakin. I was just like, that's Darth Vader. So this is where it begins. And I'm like, okay, now it makes sense to watch this and see how he becomes Darth Vader, how he goes to the dark side. So, but I was just like, really? And I guess when they started trying to understand, his way of thinking and how he knows things and stuff like that, they kind of tested him, and they saw that the levels that they were checking for was, I think, from what I remember, it was like past the Jedi. Like, it was something ridiculous, and they were like, yo, like this kid's got something, So as far as the queen goes, I didn't realize that the queen and her, I wouldn't call her an apprentice, but her maiden, her main person on her team was the same person. Like at one point, Tyrone was like, do you know who she is? And at first it didn't really hit me. I was just like, I don't know. Like, she's got a lot of paint on her face. And then when her maiden, when her main person on her crew came out, I was like, oh, she looks familiar. And he was like, have you seen her? And I'm like, oh, that's the girl that's playing Thor's girl in the upcoming movie. So then later on in the movie, I was like, wait a minute. When they were all in front of, what's his name? The maiden, the maiden came to the front and she was like, I'm the queen. She's my decoy. I was like, what? Wait a minute. So these two are the same person. So I was right. So Tyrone was like, I couldn't really tell you that you were right because then you wouldn't have reacted the way you did when you saw this part, which was her coming forth and saying she really was the queen, not the one that looked like the queen. I was just like my mind was blown, right? So I think my favorite part was the end of this movie with the fight scenes. The fact that there were like 4 different fights going on, one on a ship, one on land, one in the air, and one somewhere else, I forgot. And the way that Anakin was riding that little thing, little plane, whatever it was, yo, he was out. This kid was doing his thing. And I was sitting here like, yeah, go, 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 go. The other little guy that was sabotaging everybody's ships, like I was so for him getting kicked off or getting whatever came to him. The fight between the Master and Obi-Wan and the guy that looked like the devil, I forget his name. That was pretty crazy fight. That was a pretty crazy fight. I was beside myself when he stabbed the Master. I was just like, no freaking way did he do that. No way. And then I thought that Obi-Wan was going to die. Of course, we all know that didn't happen, but still. So then when he kicked his his lightsaber off the cliff, I was like, you a-hole. And I had Tyrone cracking up. But I was like, man, like, you know, and the ending to this was just, you know, pretty cool with all the different fight scenes and seeing how, you know, everybody was fighting in different ways and stuff like that. And it really amped up the movie for me. I absolutely enjoyed it. I really, really did. So I can't wait to see the next prequel movie that Tyrone's going to have me watch. I'm not quite sure which one that is. But yeah, you guys, like I give this, like, I'm only going to say this because I don't really understand much about the saga. I'm just learning. But I'm giving this like 4 toodles. I'm giving this one 4 toodles, you guys. I absolutely enjoyed this. I enjoyed every part of it. I was engaged throughout the whole part. I wasn't bored. You know, and there was not much. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel any different. But because I'm a new Star Wars seer, you know, there's not much that I can say that I dislike because I haven't followed the whole saga. I'm just basing this off of what I'm watching. But yeah, I absolutely loved it, you guys. I really, really did. So I'm definitely going to come back to let you guys know my review for the next one. I'll let you guys know what that is, obviously, when I watch it. But yeah, I had fun watching it. I really, really did. And it's one of those things where when I was a lot younger and these movies came out, I never thought that I would be able to be engaged and to actually like these movies. Kind of like Star Trek. Like I used to watch the old original Star Trek once in a while. But it wasn't something that stuck with me. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, I gotta watch it. And I've been following it, you know? So Star Wars was one of those things. Like I've always heard about it. I've always heard the movies. But it was one of those movies where I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. It looks a little boring. I don't know. But now that I'm older and I'm with someone who, you know, is a fan who understands this and things like that, I'm like, all right, let me give this a shot. Let me go ahead and check out this saga. Let me see what this is all about. And it's actually pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. And I'm sure sometime soon along these movies, I'll find out why people think one of them is trash. I don't know. I don't know. There was one that I think a lot of people disliked. But yeah. Yeah, 4 toodles for Phantom Menace. You guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my review. Let me know what your favorite part was of this movie. If you enjoyed the whole thing, what differences did you guys have? Let me know. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. Hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!